Very good morning to all of you. Once again, I will
Good morning, sir.
in the today's practical. So in the last practical, we were conducted the practical on flow below gate. Okay, that is when the water is released for the irrigation purpose, then how the water is released by opening the gate. Then we also seen that how we can determine the discharge. Okay, when gate will open, and we also calculated the total energy, that is a specific energy, then critical velocity, critical depth, and minimum specific energy in case of the flow below gate. Okay, so in the today's practical we are going to determine the efficiency of the turbines. Okay, so we have different types of the turbines. The major three types: one is Pelton wheel turbine, another is Kaplan turbine, then the next one is the Francis turbine. Okay, so in case of the Pelton wheel turbine, we already started that module previously in the theory class also, and in the today's practical we are going to determine the efficiency of Pelton wheel turbine. Okay, so anybody can tell me what is turbine? Yes, anyone? Definition of the turbine. What do you mean by the turbine? Yes. Anybody unmute yourself and tell me what is turbine? Nilesh Suryavanshi, Sai Prasad, you can tell me what is turbine? Hello?
Yes, sir.
So can you tell me what is turbine? Definition of the turbine? Yes. Anyone? Sai Prasad, you tell me what is a turbine?
Which converts physical energy into electrical energy.
Okay. Anybody else? Anybody else? How will you define the turbine? So see here, the turbine is a hydraulic machine which convert the hydraulic energy into the mechanical energy and then electrical energy. Okay, so this is the definitions of the turbines. Okay, so first, it is very equally important to us to know the component parts of the hydroelectric power plant layout. Okay, so we have a penstock. Okay, penstock means a large diameter pipe. Okay, we have a large diameter pipe. Then at the end of that pipe, we have a nozzle. Okay, and in front of that nozzle, there is a vanes or bucket or blades of the turbines. Okay, so that bucket which is connected to the, you can say, the runner. Runner is the rotating part of the turbine. So about the periphery of that runner, we have to connect the bucket or vanes or blades. So when the water is coming out through the nozzle with a certain pressure, it will exert that pressure over that bucket, and due to that pressure of the water which is impacted by the jet of water which is coming out through the nozzle with a certain pressure, the turbine will rotate. And we have again, there is a generator. Okay, the generator will also rotate due to the rotation of the blade of the turbines or bucket of the turbine. And there will be a generation of the electricity, okay, with the help of generator. So how we can generate the electricity? That is the importance of today's practical. So I am going to share with all of you the today's practical with a presentation. So wait 1 to 2 minutes. So before sharing the presentation, I would like to ask again 2 to 3 questions, and it is expected that you have to give the answer. Okay. So what are the different, you can say the classification of the turbines which we have seen in the class. So can you tell me the classifications of the turbine? Classification according to the energy, then classification according to the head on the turbines, classification according to the specific speed of the turbines. So these are the way by which we can classify the turbines. So according to the specific energy at the inlet of the turbine, we have impulse turbine and reaction turbine. So as far as concerned with the reaction turbine, at the inlet of the turbine, if energy is kinetic energy only, then we called it as a impulse turbine. Okay, there is only kinetic energy at the inlet, and at the inlet and as well as outlet of the bucket, the pressure is atmospheric pressure in case of the impulse turbine. So the best example of the impulse turbine is the Kaplan turbine. Okay, sorry, Pelton wheel turbine, because at the inlet and outlet the pressure is atmospheric pressure. The pressure is atmospheric pressure. Okay. So again we have a reaction turbine. If the energy at the inlet is kinetic energy as well as pressure energy, then we called it as a reaction turbine. The examples of the reaction turbine is the Francis turbine. Okay. So at the outlet of the Francis turbine, the energy is available in the form of the kinetic energy as well as pressure energy. Okay. Now the another, you can say, the another form of the or classification of the turbine is high head turbine, low head turbine, and medium head turbine. So can anybody tell me what do you mean by high head turbine? Yes, anyone? Can anybody tell me what is mean by the high head turbine? Low head turbine and medium head turbine, or what do you mean by the head? Yes, anyone? Because in the today's practical, we are going to discuss some of the important points. Okay, and it is expected that you have to give the answer. Okay. So anybody unmute with yourself and tell me what is high head, low head, and medium head turbine. Yes. Anyone? Nilesh? Nilesh? Pawan?
Yes, sir.
Nilesh, can you tell me what is the high head turbine? High head turbine? Yes, Nilesh. Yes, Nilesh. Hello, Nilesh.
Hello, sir. Yes, sir.
Tell me what is high head, low head, and medium head turbine? Can you tell me?
No, sir.
No. Okay. So I am going to share with all of you the presentation. Okay. Now see here, slide is visible to all of you. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now see here, this is the Pelton wheel turbine. Okay. Now if you see the component parts, this is known as the penstock. Penstock means it is a pipe. We call it as a pipe. Okay. Due to its larger diameter, we call it as a penstock. Penstock which is connected to the dam, and through the dam, by opening the gate, we have to supply the water under pressure. Okay. So the water is coming through this penstock at the inlet of the turbine. So this is the inlet. If you look this arrangement at the inlet, we have a nozzle. Okay. The functions of the nozzle, it increase the pressure of the water, and inside this nozzle we have a again arrangement, we called it as a spear or wheel. Okay. So this is a spear rod, and at the end of this spear rod we have a wheel. So if you want to increase or decrease the discharge, okay, so with the help of this spear and wheel arrangement, we can increase or decrease the discharge. So when the discharge will increase, the jet of water which is coming out through the nozzle, this jet of water will impact over the bucket of the turbines. The bucket is connected to the runner. So this is a runner. Okay. The runner is the rotating part of the turbine, and when the water is impacted over the bucket, the turbine will rotate about the axle. So this is a axle rod. So this turbine will rotate. So this is about the different components of the turbines. Now we are going to describe how the turbine will work. See here, the working principle is very simple. The water is coming through the penstock from the dam. The kinetic energy is high in case of the pipe, and with the help of this spear and wheel arrangement, we can increase the discharge. The jet is coming out through the nozzle. This part is the nozzle, and which is impacted over the bucket. Okay, these are the bucket. So the bucket will rotate with certain RPM, that is revolution per minute, and we have again generator. This is a generator again, and due to the impact of this jet over the bucket, the runner will rotate, turbine will rotate, and the runner is connected to the another assembly. We called it as a generator. Here the electricity will generate, and we can you can say supply the electricity to the any consumers. Okay, so this is how we can generate the electricity. So look at the you can say how the electricity will generate. Okay, so this is known as the Pelton wheel turbine. So the Pelton wheel turbine is a tangential flow impulse turbine used for high head load and low discharge of water. This turbine was discovered by the American engineer. We called it as a L.A. Pelton. The energy available at the inlet of the turbine is only kinetic energy. The pressure at the inlet and outlet of the turbine is atmospheric pressure. So at the inlet, the energy is kinetic energy, and at the inlet and outlet we called it as a atmospheric pressure. So a Pelton wheel turbine consists of the following major parts. What are the various component parts? If you see here, penstock, spear, nozzle, runner, bucket, braking nozzle, then we have a casing and deflectors. So these are the different component parts of the, you can say, the Pelton wheel turbine. Now we have a deflector. Now one by one let us see the assembly in case of the penstock. Here is the penstock. Okay, we will see one by one. So see here, this is a penstock. Penstock means a large diameter pipe which is connected to the dam, and its outlet is connected to the turbine's inlet. So penstock is a pipe which take the water from the dam, that is the reservoir, and take it to the turbine at the inlet at very high speed. So look at this. This is a pipe which is coming from the dam itself. Then the second important component parts is the spear. So if you want to increase or decrease the discharge, that is the rate of flow. So with the help of this spear, we can control the quantity of water which is coming out through the nozzle and striking over the bucket. Okay, so this is the important component parts of the Pelton wheel turbine. So it controls the quantity of water which will strike over the bucket. Okay, so look at in this diagram, we have a wheel, we have a spear rod, and with the help of this wheel we can close or open the wall, and the water will impact over the runner or the bucket. Then we have a nozzle. So nozzle is used to increase the kinetic energy of water which is used to strike the bucket attached to the runner. Now if you want to increase the pressure in the form of kinetic energy, so with the help of that you can see the spear or nozzle, we can increase it. Then we have a runner. So the runner is the rotating part of the turbine, okay, which is a circular disc, and on the periphery of which a number of bucket are evenly spaced, runner is further attached to the shaft. Okay, so such kind of the working will be there in case of the you can say the runner. Then we have a bucket. Now look at again this particular diagram. The bucket of the Pelton wheel turbine are made up of two hemispherical cups joined together. Okay, and it is divided by wall. We called it as a splitter. Okay, so two cup we have a. For example, if you connected your two hand, so such combination will be there, and there is a another important component part, that is the brake nozzle or braking jet. Now, runner keep the rotating due to the inertia force. Okay. Now to stop the Pelton wheel turbine in a short period of time, a nozzle is provided with which direct a jet of water at the back of the vanes, and that stop the runner of the turbine. We called it as a braking jet. So if you want to stop the turbine with the help of braking jet, we can stop it. Now another important component parts is the casing. Okay, so casing is a external cover or the external protection which protect the inner mechanism of the turbine from the impact of the external load, or it also safeguard and helps the water to discharge. Okay, then we have a deflector. So look at the deflector shape. So it is used to divert the water flow or part of it between the nozzle and the rotor in such a way that it does not hit the bucket. Okay, this may be used for an emergency stop or to regulate the turbine. So that is a the beauty of the deflector or the uses of the deflector. Now, the working of Pelton wheel turbines. Already we have seen that we have a dam, okay, and which store the water, and we have to connect the penstock. We called it as a large diameter pipe, okay. So at the end of the pipe we have a nozzle. So the penstock convert high speed water into a water jet, and then the jet of water which coming out through the nozzle. Okay, so the force exerted by the jet of water on a bucket of the turbines. So in this way we can rotate the shaft, or you can say the runner, with the help of impacting the jet or the bucket. So this is how we can do the working of a Pelton wheel turbine. So look at again here the water which is coming out through the penstock, which is impacted in the form of water jet on the bucket of the turbines, and turbine will rotate. Then what are the various advantages and the disadvantages of the Pelton wheel turbine? Easy assembly, we can easily assemble the component parts. Intake and exhaust of water takes place at atmospheric pressure, and hence no draft tube is required. So draft tube is a you can say the pipe which is required to measure the to maintain the head of the turbine. Okay, so no cavitation problem will be there. It can work on high head and low discharge. It operate with very flat efficiency curve. Then what are the various disadvantages of the Pelton wheel turbine? It requires a high head for the operation. Its efficiency decreases quickly with time. Turbine size is generally large, and due to the high head, it is very difficult to control the variation in the operation operating the head. So these are the various advantages and the disadvantages of the Pelton wheel turbine. Now, how the practical we have to perform? So again, I am going to share the practical, how to perform the practical now. Okay. So look at the this is a Pelton wheel turbine. This is the bucket over which the water is impacting, and that. Now here, if you see the assembly we required, this is a practical setup in our laboratory. This is a sum tank in which water is filled. Then we have a turbine here. This is the casing. Okay. Now here inside this casing we have the runner bucket. Now to apply the load we have a this drum. Okay, this is it is a drum. Drum is used to transfer the load to the turbines. Now this side of the drum is called as the tension side and this is the slack side. So with the help of this we can attach the load. So here we have a you can say the weighing balance. This is a weighing balance. With the help of this you can apply the load over the turbines. So with the help of the weighing balance we can read the load for the tension side as well as for the slack side. So such kind of assembly we have. Then here this is known as the steer rod and steer, and at the end of this steer we have a wheel. Now if you want to increase or decrease the discharge, we can increase or decrease the discharge with the help of the spear. Then again we have a U-tube differential manometer. So to measure the difference of pressure, that is the manometric pressure gauge reading in the left limb as well as in the right limb of the U-tube manometer. So we can take the reading. Again we have a dial gauge here. So if you want to measure the speed of the turbine, that is in RPM, revolution per minute. So we have a dial gauge. So with the help of this dial gauge we can measure the pressure. Okay. Now here look at this is known as the dial gauge. See here, this is known as the dial gauge. Okay. Now this is the dial gauge. Okay. The reading is in kg per centimeter square. Okay. If you want to measure the inlet pressure, so you can measure with the help of this particular dial gauge. Okay. Now look at how we can conduct the practicals. See here. Now start the pump. After starting the pump, here there will be a speed of the turbines on this speed meter. Now look at how the turbine will rotate by the inlet power. We called it as a water power. So water jet is impacted over the turbine wheel. Okay, here we have a turbines. So here we have a turbines. Look at the turbines bucket. Inside this mechanism we have a turbine bucket. The water is impacted through the nozzle or this bucket. The bucket will rotate like this. See here, the bucket is rotating now. Now this pipe is coming from the dam. Okay. Now with the help of this valve we can make a constant discharge which is coming from the dam. Now with the help of this spear rod and this wheel arrangement, what we have to do? We have to increase or decrease the discharge at the inlet of the turbine. So by opening or closing this valve, we can increase or decrease the discharge. Okay, to maintain the specific speed, okay, of the turbine. Then here we have a speedometer. This is known as the speed meter, speed dial gauge, over which you can measure the speed of the turbine. Now this observation table we require to perform the practical. Slide is visible to all of you. Yes.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay. So this is the observation table we require to perform the practical. Serial number. Then we have a second column for the observation table, that is RPM, revolution per minute. Okay. When the water jet is impacted over the bucket, bucket will rotate with the help of certain speed. So we call it as a RPM. So we have to take this RPM, revolution per minute, speed of the bucket. Then we have to take the pressure gauge reading. So I have shown earlier the dial gauge. So with the help of this, we can measure the pressure at the inlet of the turbine in kg per centimeter square. Then the another important column in case of the observation table, we have manometric pressure difference. So here we have to take the difference of pressure gauge reading H1 and H2 in centimeter, and then we have to convert into meter. Okay. So H1 is the height or the height of water level above the center line or datum line or reference line in case of the manometer in the left limb. And what is H2? H2 is also the height of water above the datum line, okay, in case of the manometer in the right limb. Then we have a slack side and tension side. So if you want to apply the load over the turbine, so with the help of this W1 and W2 we can apply the load. In the practical, we have to apply the load, okay. So W1 and W2. So look at the reading, how we can take the reading. So here we have a manometer. So look at the manometer. This is a mercury. Okay, this is the mercury, and this is a U-tube differential manometer. This is known as the left limb of the manometer, and this is known as the right limb of the manometer. Okay. Now, if you want to take the H1 and H2, so here, for example, uh, in this left limb we have to take H1, in the right limb we have to take H2, and we have to record in the observation table. Okay. So we are going to record here the pressure gauge reading. Now for the first reading we have 1.6 kg per centimeter square. Then we have the manometric pressure difference, that is H1 16.2 centimeter, and H2 in the right limb of the U-tube differential manometer, that is 14.6. Then we have to take the load. So this is a weighing balance which help us to take the load W1 and W2, and this is the slack side. Now here we can measure how much load we can apply, and we have to write it here in this particular column or this particular observation table. Okay. Now we have the W1 and W2. Okay. Now I am going to take this observation table, okay, for our sample calculation purpose. Okay. Then we have a calculations, how to do the calculations. Okay, how to do the calculations. So I am going to share with all of you the calculation with the Droid cam. So I am going to on this particular Droid cam so as to we can do the calculation. So simultaneously I request all the students, be ready with your calculator so you can do the calculation fast. Okay. Yes, now it is okay. Okay. Now the sample calculation. Okay. We have the sample calculations. Now first, drum diameter, that is the wheel diameter of the Pelton wheel turbine. Wheel diameter over which we can apply the load. Okay, so D is equal to 200 mm, that is 0.20 meter. Now once we have the diameter, we can calculate the area, pi by 4 into D square. So pi by 4 into 0.2 square. So what should be the area now? Yes, what should be the area? Calculate immediately by your calculator. Yes, what is the area?
0.031. 0.31.
0.031.
हा.
बरोबर आहे सगळ्यांचं?
Yes, sir.
ओके. सो मीटर स्क्वेअर. ओके. 0.031. नाही यार, काहीतरी वेगळंच काढलं वाटतं तुम्ही. लेट अस चेक इट. So here I have a calculator. Pi by 4 into 0.2 square. Okay. Okay. 0.0314. Right. 14. Okay. Now second, we have to calculate, that is as per the observation table, we have to calculate the total head on the turbine, total head, that is H. Okay, we have to calculate H. So total head means what? For example, I am going to draw the diagram again. Look at the diagram of dam and turbines. A small diagram I am going to draw here. This is now a dam. Okay, and here we have a turbines. Here we have the turbine. Okay, now this is the blade of the turbine. This is the blade or bucket of the turbine or vanes. Sometime you can call it as a vane, bucket, anything. Okay, now here we have to insert the pipe. This is the pipe, we called it as a penstock. Okay, at the end of this penstock we have a nozzle. Okay, we have a nozzle. Now here this is a water level in the dam. This is known as HFL, highest flood level, and this is penstock. Penstock means pipe. त्याची डायमीटर मोठी असते म्हणून त्याला आपण पेनस्टॉक म्हणतो. Now the water will impact over the bucket and turbine will rotate. This is bucket. This is the bucket. Now what is head? हेड म्हणजे काय? या टर्बाईनच्या सेंटर वरून टर्बाईनचं लोकेशन कुठं असतो? डॅमच्या खालच्या बाजूला. आता डॅमच्या बॉटमला असतो आणि डॅम वरती असते, त्याच्यामुळे इथून जो पाणी येतो पाईपमध्ये तो ग्रॅव्हिटीने यायला पाहिजे. तर हा जो डिफरन्स आहे वॉटर लेवलमध्ये टर्बाईनच्या सेंटर पासून तर डॅमचं जे हायेस्ट फ्लड लेवल आहे, म्हणजे डॅमची जी मॅक्झिमम लेवल आहे तिथपर्यंत, त्याला म्हणतो आपण एच, टोटल हेड. दॅट इज द टोटल हेड. ओके, रिमेंबर. नाउ हाउ टू फाइंड आउट दिस टोटल हेड? How to find out this total area? So 10 into pressure gauge reading. 10 into pressure gauge reading. I will take another pen. 10 into pressure gauge reading. Okay, 10 into pressure gauge reading. Okay, 10 into pressure gauge reading. So 10 into, we have taken the pressure gauge reading here 1.6. Okay, now 1.6. Now calculate. Why I multiply this by 10? Because the unit of pressure is kg per centimeter square. Now if I want to convert this in meter of water, then I have to multiply by 10. So tell me, what is H?
16.
What is H? 16 मीटर. आता मी याला 10 ने का बरं मल्टिप्लाय केलं ते लक्षात ठेवायचं, कारण केजी पर सेंटीमीटर स्क्वेअरचं मला मीटरमध्ये कन्वर्ट करायचं असेल तर हा कन्वर्जन फॅक्टर आहे, रिमेंबर. Then third calculation, we have to calculate velocity of flow. Velocity of flow, V. So under root 2gh into 12.6. Okay, 12.6 ने मल्टिप्लाय केलं त्यामुळे मीटर पर सेकंड मध्ये वेलोसिटी येईल. सगळं युनिट कन्वर्जन साठी आहे 12.6. नाउ इन दिस केस, so 2 into 9.81 into h 16 into 12.6. now calculate velocity. What should be the velocity now? What should be the
62.89.
किती?
62.89.
Okay, means 2 into 9.81 into 16 into 12.6. okay, 62.89 62.89 meter per second. Okay, meter per second. Now once we have the velocity of flow, we have to calculate the another parameter. Okay, another parameter, that is known as the water flow rate or discharge. Okay, water flow rate or discharge. So we have to calculate now for discharge Q. Okay, we have to calculate discharge, that is Q. So how will you find out? Area into velocity. So we have the area 0.0 किती आला होता? एरिया किती आला होता? 0.0314 into velocity 62.89. now calculate the discharge, that is rate of flow. How much it is? Yes,
1.97.
0.0314 into 62.89, 1.97 meter cube per second. Then fifth sample calculation, if you see here, the fifth sample calculation we have to calculate, that is the input power. Okay, because we have to calculate the efficiency. So first we have to calculate input power. So how will you calculate the input power? Input power. See, we have a formula rho G Q H. Okay, rho G Q H by 1000. So look at the formula to find out the input power. Input power rho G Q H. Here gamma is the unit weight of water. Okay, similarly, this is now gamma. Gamma means unit weight of water. Unit weight of water. Remember, this is the unit weight of water and it is calculated by this one, rho G. So density of water is 1000 into 9.81 into Q we have calculated earlier 1.97 into H we have calculated 16. So what is about input power? किती आला input power? बोला. Yes.
Three 309.21 into 10 raised to 3.
Okay. 309.21
No,
into
yes.
10 raised to 3. Okay. Kilowatt. The input power is now in kilowatt. 309.21 into 10 raised to power 3 kilowatt. Now, the next we have to calculate output power. Okay, we have to calculate output power. Output power. So how will you calculate output power? We have the formula 2 pi nt divided by 6000. Okay. So here n is the speed of the turbine. What is this n? N is the speed of turbine. T is the torque. T is the torque. T is the torque and N is the speed of the turbine. Now in the observation table, see here we have taken the speed 1037. Okay, 1037 we have taken. The speed we have 1037 RPM, revolution per minute. This is the speed, but we don't know torque. Now how will you calculate the torque? So torque is calculated with the help of, see here we have a formula W1 minus W2 into D by 2 into 9.81. So here if you see how to calculate the torque, W1 minus W2 into D by 2 into 9.81. Okay, yes, into 9.81. So what is this W1? So here we have taken W1, that is the loading on the turbines. So W1 is 2 kg and W2 is 0.6 kg. So W1 is 2 kg minus 0.6 kg. Now here we have the drum diameter. So we have a drum on which we have applied the load, that is 0.24 meter divided by 2. So this is the drum diameter 0.24 into 9.81. So with the help of this you have to calculate the torque. So torque T is how much? किती आला torque?
1.64.
1.64. Okay, 1.64 is the torque. Okay, 1.64 is the torque. Then we have to find out the output power, because this is the formula for output power. Now it is very easy to find out the output power. So output power is 2 into pi into n. N is speed of the turbine. 1037 into T 1.64 divided by 6000. So see here we have the formula for the output power as well. 2 pi n T divided by 6000. One, two, three, four. Now 60,000, not a 60,000. Okay, that is the 60,000. So how much is the output power? How much is the output power? Yes. किती आला output power? Anybody?
0.178.
Okay, 0.178. This is the output power. Okay. Now we have to calculate efficiency. We have to calculate now efficiency. Efficiency of the turbines. Last sample calculation is efficiency of turbine, that is eta. So how will you calculate efficiency? Output power divided by input power into 100. See here, if you want to calculate efficiency, then we have the formula: input power divided by output power into 100. Okay, so output power divided by input power into 100. So output power is now 0.178. Input power we have calculated. How much it was? 309.21 into 10 raised to power 3 kilowatt, and if you want to convert into watt, 0.309 now. So 0.309 into 1000. So calculate efficiency. What should be the efficiency now? किती आली efficiency?
57.6.
Into 100. 57.6. So this is the efficiency for the Pelton wheel turbine. Okay, this is the efficiency for Pelton wheel turbine. So how we can calculate the efficiency? Now what is the use of this particular parameter? Why one should calculate the efficiency? 100% efficiency आली तर आपण म्हणतो चांगलं इलेक्ट्रिसिटी जनरेट होईल. 70% आलं तर आपण म्हणू शकतो चांगलं इलेक्ट्रिसिटी जनरेट होईल. But the efficiency is nearly about 60% in this case, nearly about 60%. Okay, आपण म्हणू शकतो की या टर्बाइनची इफिशियन्सी आपली 60% आहे. तर 60% इफिशियन्सी आली तर we can do some again investigation, you can say, कारण 60% इफिशियन्सी कमी आहे. 70-80% इफिशियन्सी आली तर चांगला आहे. तर दिस इज हाऊ वी कॅन कॅल्क्युलेट द एफिशियन्सी. दिस इज हाऊ वी कॅन कॅल्क्युलेट द एफिशियन्सी. आता एफिशियन्सी वाढवण्यासाठी आपण डिझाईनमध्ये अल्टरेशन करू शकतो. जिथं आपण समजा बकेट जे व्हेन्स आपण म्हणतो त्याला 10 आपण लावलेले आहे, अजून वाढवू शकतो. आणि मग ती नोझलमधून जो काही पाणी त्या बकेटवरती इम्पॅक्ट करतो त्याचं प्रेशर वाढवू शकतो आपण, हेड वाढवू शकतो आणि इफिशियन्सी वाढवू शकतो. सो to generate the more electricity, the turbine is having more efficiency. Okay, so this is how we can calculate the efficiency. Now here we have 2 to 3 minutes, so we will discuss some of the important questions or your query or doubt. जर तुम्हाला काही डाऊट असेल तर विचारा. यस, एनीबडी? सुमित शिखरे, अनिकेत,
येस सर.
काही डाऊट काही असेल तर विचारा.
सर आपल्या इथं होतं का सर, टर्बाईन आहे का सर आपल्या जायकवाडीला?
हो, जायकवाडीला आहे. आपला हायड्रो इलेक्ट्रिक पॉवर लेआउट आहे तिथं पण. आणि आता सध्याला तो वर्किंग कंडिशनमध्ये नाही, कारण डॅममध्ये पाणी नाही. आता इरिगेशनसाठी आणि आपण वॉटर सप्लायसाठी ते पाणी यूज करतो, म्हणजे औरंगाबाद सिटी किंवा इंडस्ट्रीसाठी. तर जेव्हा डॅममध्ये 80% 90% पाणी असतं, तेव्हा आपण ते इलेक्ट्रिसिटी तिथून जनरेट करतो. आहे आपल्या जायकवाडीला आहे. जायकवाडी इज दी मल्टीपर्पज इरिगेशन प्रोजेक्ट. जायकवाडी हा मल्टी इरिगेशन प्रोजेक्ट आहे. त्याच्यापासून आपण इरिगेशनसाठी पाणी सप्लाय करतो, औरंगाबाद सिटी इंडस्ट्रीसाठी, आणि हायड्रो इलेक्ट्रिक पॉवर जनरेशन सुद्धा तिथं होतं. पण हायड्रो इलेक्ट्रिक पॉवर जनरेशन कधी होतो? जेव्हा डॅममध्ये 80%च्या अबोव वॉटर असतं त्याच्या कॅपॅसिटीमध्ये. एनीबडी एल्स? Anybody wants to ask any question? Question तुम्ही विचारा हो. क्वेश्चन विचारायला पाहिजे. आहे का कोणाला क्वेश्चन?
सर
एनीबडी? हां, बोला बोला.
टर्बाईनचा पार्ट सर मेकॅनिकल इंजिनियर पण हँडल करता का सर, सिव्हिल
हां
इंजिनियर?
हां हां हां, चांगलं तू क्वेश्चन केला. हे बघा, टर्बाईनचा जो प्रोजेक्ट आहे त्याच्यामध्ये सिव्हिल इंजिनियरचं रोल आहे. आणि मग जे टर्बाईन जे मॅन्युफॅक्चर होतो त्याचं डिझाईन होतो, हा मेकॅनिकल इंजिनियर करतो. पण मेकॅनिकल इंजिनियर कधी त्याचं डिझाईन करू शकतो? जेव्हा सिव्हिल इंजिनियरचं इथं काय रोल आहे की सिव्हिल इंजिनियर काय सांगतो की आमच्या डॅममध्ये एवढं पर्सेंटेज पाण्याचं आहे आणि डॅमची टोटल कॅपॅसिटी एवढी आहे. तर तो कॅल्क्युलेशन करून देतो की डॅमपासून आम्ही किती पाणी तुम्हाला सोडू शकतो जेणेकरून तुमचं एवढं किलोवॅट पॉवर जनरेशन होईल. तर आपण काय करून देतो? मग जो पेनस्टॉक मी सांगितलं तुम्हाला की जे पाईप आहे त्याची आपण डायमीटर फिक्स करतो. ते नोझल त्याच्या एंडला, आपण पाईपच्या एंडला नोझल बसवतो आणि मग त्या नोझलमधून पाणी किती प्रेशरने त्या बकेटवरती इम्पॅक्ट होईल तो आपण त्यांना सांगतो की एवढ्या प्रेशरने ते पाणी बाहेर येईल. आणि तो पाणी त्या बकेटवरती इम्पॅक्ट झाल्याच्या नंतर त्याचं RPM किती निर्माण होऊ शकतो, हा सगळं कॅल्क्युलेशन सिव्हिल इंजिनिअरिंग करून देतो. त्याचं हेड किती असायला पाहिजे, त्याचं पाईपचं डायमीटर किती असायला पाहिजे, ती टर्बाईनचं RPM किती असायला पाहिजे, जेणेकरून तुम्ही टर्बाईनचं डिझाईन करू शकता. मग आपलं हायड्रॉलिक जे ॲनालिसिस आहे, तर मग तो मेकॅनिकल इंजिनियर काय करतो? ते ॲनालिसिस घेतो. म्हणजे आपण त्याला सांगितलं की एवढा प्रेशर आम्ही क्रिएट करून देणार आहे तुम्हाला, एवढा डिस्चार्ज तुमच्या त्या टर्बाईनच्या बकेटवरती येणार आहे. आणि मग तो मेकॅनिकल इंजिनियर काय करतो? त्याच्या हिशोबानुसार मग तो किती नंबर ऑफ बकेट, त्याचं डायमीटर किती असायला पाहिजे, त्याची खोली किती असायला पाहिजे, त्या बकेटची 2 असायला पाहिजे की 1 असायला पाहिजे, हे सगळं मग मेकॅनिकल इंजिनियर करून देतो. तो सिव्हिल इंजिनियर आणि मेकॅनिकल इंजिनियर दोनाचं तिथं रोल आहे. पण सिव्हिल इंजिनियर
जोपर्यंत हा डेटा देत नाही तोपर्यंत त्याचं मॅन्युफॅक्चरिंग होत नाही. अनिकेत.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. So today we will stop here. I declare that the today's practical is over.